You watch the show and then you think, hell yeah, I want to be Jack.
Yes, exactly.
I want to be samurai-ing all over the place.
The fundamental appeal of this game is that one reason, right? It's be the samurai Jack. People bought that for that reason.
You're absolutely right. You're so right.
So you're going to tell me this succeeded in every way possible in that regard, right?
Dave?
Yeah?
No.
No way. What? A Samurai Jack game that no one's heard of didn't do great things for Samurai Jack?
That's right! It's incredible that this game no one's heard of is actually not a good game.
Yeah, isn't that just crazy?
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. Are you well?
Yes, I'm well, thank you. You mentioned a couple of years ago that your favorite console of all time was the PlayStation 2.
Yes, fundamentally that was kind of like the period where I was old enough to really start enjoying games. But yeah, the PlayStation 2 was great. Still is, to some degree.
Was it the best console just because of your memories of it? Or was it objectively, for little David, the best console?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I have to dwell back to little David's
right?
motive and train of thought, right?
Because if we look at numbers, the PlayStation 2 is the fourth best PlayStation.
What? Out of curiosity, what's the first? What sales-wise? It's just got to be the newer ones.
No, according to the numbers. If you look at the numbers, the best PlayStation is the strongest PlayStation. Isn't it?
Yeah, the strongest one being
PlayStation 5.
Yeah, okay, yes. I thought strongest as in like style, or strongest as in like just general love. Yeah, but then in theory, depending how you do the numbers, there's just more people playing video games now, so the sales are going to be exponentially more expensive. I thought the PlayStation 2 was actually super high up that list. Am I wrong? So it's PlayStation 5.
No, it is. I think out of all the consoles, PlayStation 2 would be the one that most people says is the best console.
I think PlayStation 2 is when it took off. I think it took off far more than the PlayStation 1 did.
Do you think that's when the mainstream got its hands on it and just went buck wild?
Yes, I think so. I think the PlayStation 1 era and the PCs and the Sega, people were slowly getting into gaming, but PlayStation 2 is when it kind of exploded in like everyone had a PlayStation 2 console. Like all your friends.
I remember a part of this being that when PlayStation 2 came out, DVD players were also coming out.
Yes,
and because the PlayStation 2 had DVD player functionality was cheaper than a DVD player.
Yeah, that's right.
Parents just got the PlayStation 2. And it was a happy little accident for their kids.
No, it's great. You could appease dad and the boys or the girls, right? Because he gets his DVD player, they get their video games. Yeah, no, you're right. That was a big thing back in the day too. You're right. The DVD capability was a big seller.
So if you look at the PlayStation 2 right now, what did your gut tell you was your game?
Sadly, my game is like the game of most people. It was fundamentally Final Fantasy X. Because that game was revolutionary on PlayStation 2.
Well, of course it was. Tidus and... what's it?
Yuna.
Luna?
Yuna.
Leska.
Yeah, that's a great... I'm trying to think... Also, for me, it's a strange pull, but I had a great time playing this with my brother. It was SSX Tricky, the snowboarding game. That game was great. Soundtrack, play, that was a great game. I think it's a great game for many people as well, looking back fondly on it.
And also, that's very special once you get a game that you can two-player with someone.
Oh, exactly right. Yeah, the memories are more important. Yeah,
much more than it is.
Yes. I love that game. I hope if the listeners listening, they got to give us that game, because there was a mad guy called Simon, and he would just quote Shakespeare whilst doing tricks going down the mountain, and I loved him.
Oh, while he was doing snowboard tricks.
Yeah, once you're getting air, he would just start quoting Macbeth or Hamlet just randomly.
Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Yeah, that's right. And he was such a foil to what you expect. He was just covered in tattoos and spiky hair and metal studs through his face, but he was just sprouting literature.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a great.
They knew what
it was
they
a
were
great
doing.
era of gaming. It was when gamies were allowed to be wacky.
Speaking of,
Yes, perfect segue.
thank you. This game came out in an era of Cartoon Network that was, dare I say, peak.
Yes, the best of all time, undoubtedly.
Yeah. How about you introduce this week's game?
This week's game is, like Nick said, is a very popular, still to this day, a very popular Cartoon Network tie-in. It's the game called Samurai Jack: The Shadow of Aku, which I'm sure if anyone's, you must know Samurai Jack, right? You're not too young.
Absolutely, yes. I was a boy at one point. I absolutely know who Samurai Jack is.
And most adults still look. This is kind of like the Avatar of that era of TV. This is like when you go back and say, "Wow, that's actually." Still good. It still ages well. How does a Cartoon Network cartoon still age
Avatar,
so well?
The Airbender, and Bluey. Samurai Jack, I would put in the same camp as those two.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see that. I think what I love about Samurai Jack, like I've granted the game just to Samurai Jack, and I must admit, I'll be truly honest. I got more fun researching Samurai Jack than I did researching the game, because. Oh, it's so good. I went down a rabbit hole. Like, just the idea that... I also love the conspiracy theory that Samurai Jack, or Jack, is actually a version of the Powerpuff Girls' dad, the scientist guy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
If you look at them, they're very alike. If you look at the character design, right? And there's like a conspiracy theory...
What was his name? Professor Utonium?
That's him. Sugar and spice and everything nice and X or what. And there's a version of a narrative...
Chemical X...
that the Powerpuff Girls died. Well, you had to. It was a banging mistake.
Yeah.
The Powerpuff Girls died, and then Aku took over the world, and then he trained to be a samurai because, kind of like his loss and his anger, and then he did something to stop the Aku because the girls would have done in regards to being heroes. So I thought that narrative is so cool.
Why is that insane? That is a typical Cartoon Network.
Yes, I want that to be so
narrative.
True. I just want the writers to say, you got us. You're absolutely right. Because I just think that's so like John Wick, but in the cartoon world.
I know this isn't part of the episode, but in one episode that happened, the Powerpuff Girls kind of disappeared and everyone thought they died.
Yes, I know there's a morbid Powerpuff Girls episode. Yeah, I know.
Jeez, that's
old
bad
cartoons,
episode.
Yeah, old cartoons did that though. Like,
yeah, they did.
Even
they did.
The original Pokemon movie, Ash gets turned to stone and Pikachu thinks he's dead. we got by some hardcore adult themes in the old
yes, we did,
cartoons,
and I think it was for the better.
Agreed. Like as adults, like, we get to look back fondly on them right now, right?
Yeah, there's this episode of Samurai Jack that was horrendously bad. Not bad, but as in it's so good, but it's goodness. It is scary. It is horrific.
Is it
I cannot
horrific or
believe
like
they let
bleak?
children watch it.
Yeah, they got some bleak episodes I know about that are like he almost gives up and stuff like that. I've seen that. Is it bad as in like, whoa, what the hell's going on? This is like...
It's bad as in it would give children... it would be traumatic for children to watch.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because Samurai Jack was then finished on Adult Swim.
Yes,
because
that's where it should have been the entire time.
Because it's a relatively adult story to some degree.
It is.
Which I just think is great. I love the idea, again, I'm just talking about the series now. I love the idea it got picked up to be finished. Because people are like, I need to know the end.
Isn't that
and
so good?
They made
and it
the
was
final
still Gendy
season.
Tartovsky that did it.
Yeah, right? And I just love the idea the fans were just like, no, we got to finish this. Come on, let's do it. Then Adult Swim, and they did the final season, and it's a good final season by all accounts. So I've heard.
And it actually finishes.
Yeah.
It concludes his story. Oh.
Right? Which, again, we say this like a big triumphant thing. Things don't conclude anymore or get axed very soon, right? Like, what the hell?
Exactly. Like, what was that? What was that show? Firefly?
I was just thinking of Firefly, but that did get finished in a movie or something afterwards. But after years of, again, fans asking to wrap it up in some regard.
Yeah.
At least I think so. Yeah, I'm fairly certain about that. But anyway, did you? Oh, sorry, just another weird. Did you know his name's not actually Jack?
Oh, is it?
His name's not Jack. He was given.
It is obvious because.
Oh god, because he's Asian.
He's a Japanese man.
Is there no Jacks in Japan? Yeah, you're probably right, to be honest with you. But I always thought his name was Jack, and then I just, again, a bit of research, it was just the first name somebody questioned him being, and then he just kept with it. You don't actually really know his name, I don't think.
Whoa, we don't know Samurai Jack's real name?
No, he's just a jack of all trades.
So he's not called Samurai?
Could you imagine if that was it? Oh, no, that's his first name. And people are like, what? Oh, no, it's first name Samurai.
It is your son. What would you like to call him? Samurai.
But it's kind of like that thing, like in England, people were called like John Smith, and he was going to be a smith, and like this was like, I want my son to be a samurai. What shall I call him? Samurai.
Samurai.
He can't be anything else. Then you can't be like a haberdashery or like a fishman if your name's Samurai, right? Genius. Anyway,
yes. When I get another kid, I'm going to call him Lawyer.
Nice, or just Moneybags.
Moneybags.
just lottery win, something like that. Anyway,
we're 10 minutes in. We've not even.
Okay, this game released. This game was actually the second game to release on the Samurai Jack franchise. The first one released on the Game Boy Advance. I don't think it did particularly well, but again, doing this. Okay, this game released in 2004 by a company called Adrenium Games, which is a subsidy of a company called a Maze developer, which sadly all kind of died in 2009. But they did a ton of like movie tie-in games. It was Shark Tales, Ice Age, Shrek, like Cartoon Network things too, kind of like things like Kim Possible and stuff like that. But they did it for years, so these games must have made money, right? They had the movie or the cartoon tie-in aspects of them. They did loads. I'm talking like over 40.
I think the argument there is that for that entire time, games were still the movie tie-ins and cartoon games.
Yes, and somehow it was making money. Like even these games, in theory, the Game Boy Advance game had to make money for them to release a second one on the PlayStation 5, right? Because no one's going to fund something that doesn't turn over some profit at the end of the year.
On the PlayStation 2, yes, I agree.
Yes. So I was shocked, but and they only had loads of tie-in games, and I think, especially now, any game that's tied into a TV series or anything like that is generally just bad. Can you think of a game right now that's a game from a TV series or a movie that's good?
That's good?
I was trying to think of that earlier because I was thinking Tomb Raider, but that's the other way round.
But that's the thing, it's only the other way around.
Yes,
now that we've got the Super Mario movie, we can now say the Mario games are movie tie-ins.
That's very true. And
although I'd get punched by a lot of people for saying that.
Well, luckily you're built of, you got that dad strength, that dad cushion.
I do.
That's right.
And also, I'm digital, so good luck punching the air in front of you while you're listening to this.
Now you've challenged someone and just like a digital fist comes out your mic or something, right? Like Digimon, like that big fist in Digimon that comes out of nowhere to smack whatever the big thing was. Anyway, like I said, they did a lot of movie tie-in games. They did them okay, I can only imagine, because this game was. I think
the best way to, the best way to explain this would be to just call them good enough.
Yeah, it's good enough. They're
get it over the line and ship it.
Yeah, to get those people to buy it straight away because the movies or games, TV programs are coming out, but then the bargain bin after like 6 months or so. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. Okay, should we jump straight into the narrative?
If we must.
Okay, it's again one of these things. I looked at the narrative of the Samurai Jack series and I was like, wow, this is great. This is awesome. This is great. And then and the narrative of this, and I was like, okay, it's okay. Surprisingly enough, you play as Samurai Jack, which I know, right?
That's not his real name.
Yeah, that's right. And then you get, again, the whole spiel of Samurai Jack is that you got sent to the future because you're about to kill Aku, and he sends you to the future, and then you kind of start going back in time to go back to the original fight so that you can kill him in the first place, but you're in a future
Yes, because
where
he's
in
too
control.
powerful in the
Yes,
future.
yes.
You cannot defeat him there.
And it starts off with the same premise here. You're doing that. Again, it hits you with that classic, go collect all the elemental pieces, earth, fire, water, and spirit, which I don't know where wind went, but spirit was the...
It's spirit.
The new one. And then, just the... It's so hard to do a narrative part because there's not much to it. That's basically it. You do go to little islands. There are... Again, I like that there were like showrunner... bad guys, the robots and the weird little things you take out are all lore basic into the Samurai Jack
met
universe.
back up with the Scotsman.
Mm-hmm.
And
who didn't love the Scotsman, right?
No, everyone loves the Scotsman. What's the other one? Backwards Jack? No, Mad Jack.
Mad Jack.
Mad Jack. That's evil Samurai Jack.
That's right. The shadow version of Jack, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, thank you. The Shadow Jack.
Which is also, it felt like, I swear that was like a big cliche in the PlayStation 2 era too. I swear many games
they did it in
gave you
Legend of Zelda as well.
Legend of Zelda, Prince of Persia, I knew that you took on a number of times your evil. So there was a degree of nostalgia to the story, ever so slightly. But the only problem with the story, it kind of comes in slowish. Like, you go to the first area, you get taught the controls, very nice. You got some weird chameleon people that need your help, and then you just run around, just slashing things, opening traps, and then you get to the one area. And granted, I'm slowly going into gameplay, which I want to do. One thing I will say, you do get all the elements, you kill the shadow version yourself, and then there's a big fight with Aku. It's not that fleshed out unless I missed something.
It really isn't. But that's what I was going to say. Isn't that just most PlayStation 2 games? Isn't the story just a vehicle for you to go from locale to locale and do gameplay?
Yeah,
right?
no, I do
Whether
agree
that's
because
combat, exploration, whatever.
It is very hard. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, the story is just a vehicle to get you from place to place so you can play the game. That's it.
But you say that, but it's very hard for me not to play these games, especially PlayStation 2, and think Final Fantasy X. Metal Gear Solid 2.
But that's why those games were revolutionary.
Yes, that's
and
true.
not Samurai Jack, Shadow of Aku.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm putting the bar too high, fundamentally, in regards
exactly.
to it, right?
But
right.
Here's the thing. That's fine too.
Yes.
These games don't need to be revolutionary.
Agreed.
They can be fine. This can be the type of game that you do buy for $5, have your kid play for the weekend, and that's it. It doesn't need to be more than that.
No, it's very true, because I remember I played Crash Bandicoot. I could not tell you the actual story. I know I am a Bandicoot and the big Doctor whatever. But all I remember is big yellow brain man. I could just picture a big head guy. But you're right, I could not tell you the story of that game. I can tell you the levels and how hard it was and things like that, but I could not tell you the story.
That's the important part. Yes. I don't even think Naughty Dog cares about the story for Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, very true. And that's what I mean. The gameplay and actually just having the fun of the game itself is more important in some games than
and
the
that's
actual
completely
story, right?
fine.
One thing I did like about this, though, was, I swear PlayStation 2 games did this quite a lot too, was fourth wall breaking back in the day was fairly common, right? If you did Metal Gear Solid, used to do it a lot. And in this, when you get closer to the final fortress that Aku's in, you bump into a bunch of teenagers who are kind of like just hanging out on the streets, as teenagers do. And then they're like, oh no, we gotta stop kids from playing video games. And then Jack gets told about this and he's like, we must stop this. And then you bump into a scientist who's gonna show you the way or the portal to Aku's tower. But first, you gotta stop video games from melting the minds of teens or something like that. It's the story narrative. which is kind of funny. Like, I do kind of appreciate the nod of playing the video game and them doing the nods into like, the games are dangerous or can melt your brains or you get square eyes or something like that.
Oh, yeah. If that happened today, I assure you, people would be annoyed, or they would recognize it to be tongue-in-cheek
Yes, tongue-in-cheek doesn't get by anymore, which I don't understand because, again, games in the 90s, 2000s had tons of it. It was supposed to be funny and you were supposed to laugh at yourself and all the other. Yeah. And that fourth wall breaking part was probably the best part of the narrative throughout the whole thing. I was like, hey, something witty, something clever.
Somebody cared. Somebody put a little bit of thought into it.
Yes, and actually, I thought of it, developed it, got the voice actors to do it. That was quite fun. But apart from that, the narrative is kind of hit and miss. It's
which is disappointing because the narrative of the show was some of the best I've ever seen in any Cartoon Network.
I literally story. Played this game, and whilst playing this game, just thought to myself, I just want to watch Samurai Jack. I don't know, it's 5 seasons. I was thinking, I just want to play it now because I have not watched all of it. I've only watched bits and pieces because I think I was into like Dragon Ball Z or something when it came out at the same time.
Yeah.
So Jack wasn't really on my radar. But I feel like I missed out. As a grown man, I feel like I should be going back.
I got them switched around. I felt meh about Dragon Ball Z, but Samurai Jack, I would not miss a single episode.
That's so cool. Like I'm trying to think who did better there. Dragon Ball Z or Samurai Jack? I don't know which one would be the bigger. I think
Dragon Ball Z did.
No, it's been going longer. Doesn't mean it's the better property. It is quite good in some
I get
degrees.
what you mean. But one thing I keep coming back to with Samurai Jack is it's a kid's story, but it's got minimal dialogue. Now that I've got my own kids, I can see that there are some strategies used by cartoon companies to kind of keep kids watching the entire cartoon all the way through. You know, retention tactics.
Yeah.
I can see that shit a mile away in cartoons and stuff. Samurai Jack does the complete opposite.
which for like a narrative isn't like the biggest pro aspect of it, right?
No, like, but I mean that's what I keep thinking. Why was this a kids show? It was the best. I loved it, but some episodes didn't have a single spoken word of dialogue.
Is that true? That's true. Like you said, as an adult, that instantly sounds cool to me. But you're right, as a child, for like retention, it's like where's the control buttons, the volume's down. That's so cool. Granted, we're talking about the TV series now and not the game, but that's such a cool idea.
I remember a specific episode where you would get slowly introduced to a cast of villains while a barber kept messing up the main villain's hair.
Nice.
So when he was done, he stood up, didn't pay, and his hair got messed up. And then the episode followed this band of villains who schemed against taking down Jack. And in the last 3 minutes of the episode, that's when Jack appears for the first time and then cuts them all down and then walks away. And that's the episode.
So they didn't even have like a full-out narrative. They were just like a little obstacle in Jack's way, and then that was it. Like, even though
yes,
that's so cool. It
is.
First of all, we've all established that you should watch the Samurai Jack series on Cartoon Network or Adult Swim or whatever.
You should absolutely watch the entire Samurai Jack show from start to finish. Any movies? Right. I don't know if there are any movies, but the narrative for this game pales in comparison.
Yeah. Okay, so does it save itself in visuals then? What did you think of the visuals?
No. Wow. No. I scored visuals lower than narrative.
Well, I play these games, and like I said, I think Final Fantasy X, but then I think, no, can't do that, because you're right, because that was kind of like a benchmark, it was a paragon, so I think, what other games came out on the PlayStation 2 that were like this? And then I did think to my things like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon and stuff like that. The only thing that came to mind all the time was that they were just all better. Like, every time I tried to compare it to something that was like these games, they were like, this is just... it's so open spaces with nothing in it. Just like squareness areas with two robots and then a cage, and that's the area you loaded into.
Yes.
That was my biggest gripe, because that was like it all the time. It was like, oh, new area. Go through the tunnel,
it's unbelievably
go into the next
flat.
one. Yeah.
It's exceptionally flat, all the environments, and you've got repeated textures, stiff characters. It's so... You're absolutely right. This is just a flat green texture that's grass.
Yeah.
some stuff that looks like cages, 2 enemies. That's it. It's so. This looked like a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, no, I get
And
it.
in the year-
It does.
And in the year 2004,
Yeah, that's true.
that's 2 years before God of War 2 came out.
Yes, that's right. No, they were hitting some pretty special games on the PlayStation 2 at this point.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
There's no reason for this game to look as bad as it does on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I at the beginning when I started playing this, I told Nick that this game wasn't too bad because I put in like an hour, I'd learned the things. I thought the beginning part was just that boring tutorial bit that you find in most games that like
Past that.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, this gets no different. I was like, this doesn't get any different. Even the again, gameplay wise, it doesn't get particularly any harder. It's just this. It's the same. I'll give it its props though. It does have the same bad guys that you find in the series. It does have the Scotsman and Aku and all the fun stuff that you find in it.
Yeah.
It's just the backgrounds and the worlds the part of the worlds you play in, be it an Aztec temple, the jungle, even Aku's tower, like the big boss area. Fundamentally, it's still just a big flat area with some walls, the occasional thing to kill or chase after. And that's it. And then next area. And of course, unlock something in a cage every once in a while to save the captured people. I'll give it, but I did kind of like the cutscenes. The cutscenes was the only place visually they gave some love to it. Even though it was a bit flat, and, we're not talking Final Fantasy. The cutscenes felt like they were slightly out of the series compared to the rest, right? It actually
You think so?
I'm trying to be nice. Part of me plays these games and I just can't give them because I know there's people behind it. Like there's actually flesh and blood people that tried their hardest.
There were people behind this making this game.
I'll give you sometimes because of the 2D or the blocky nature of Jack's face, it would be just like a 2D face of his, and then when it got angry, it kind of just rendered a smile or a sneer onto his face afterwards.
You know what? This was going to be my actual only positive thing to say about the visuals. I don't have much nice things to say about this game. This looks like a PlayStation 1 game with flat environments and textures. It's horrendous to look at. The environments you go to, it can't look as bad as it does, but it does. And it's not supposed to be. In 2004? No. This looks like a game from the 90s. But the only compliment I do have is at one point I zoomed in on Jack's face.
Yeah. Like the playable character face, like from the camera angles, the actual playable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it isn't just a flat 2D texture.
It is? Okay. What is it?
But they rendered polygons for his mouth, his nose, his eyes.
Oh, so you could actually zoom in quite a bit in regards to PlayStation 2.
Yeah, so you could see him kind of moving his face as someone would do, right?
Oh, really?
Looking around with his pupils. His mouth would be breathing and opening and closing.
Oh, wow. And this is just general gameplay. Like you're walking through the area, but his face is adapting to what's going on.
Yes.
I didn't notice that. That is kind of cool. There's that.
It is. Yeah. Why does Jack look so good?
Yeah.
The places he go to absolutely does not.
Yeah, I don't get it.
There's a big discrepancy.
Again, it's one of those things like their business practice. I wonder if they have you got $50,000 to make a game and that's it. Like each time, so they can make $80,000 or something like that. I like maybe the profits are so low. I'm trying to be nice again. Like I'm trying to find a workable mission statement that they work with. And I'll give them. I was slightly enamored with the slow-mo focus attacks. I thought. A little part of me thought those were kind of cool. The ability to slow.
Yes.
Like
we
Max
can get
Payne,
into that in
slowing down
gameplay,
time.
but I thought those were nice too.
Yeah, they looked, and he did, especially when he did the Jean-Claude Van Damme split kick. I was like, this is kind of cool looking, ever so slightly. This is actually kind of I'm glad they put some effort into that. But you're right, it gets stale fast. It's kind of repetitive.
It does. It does.
The bad guys' designs aren't really that. Later on, it's just hit the red dot behind them. You play a lot of the robots is just hit the red dot behind them.
And once you get behind them, just activate slow-mo.
Yeah, it's okay. This isn't a hard game by any extent of the words. Anything
But
else?
one
Visuals.
thing,
Go on.
yes.
Go on.
Final thing.
Yeah.
They did something that the series also does that I thought was the coolest thing ever. When Jack would take damage, his gi would get ripped up.
Yes.
And his hair bun would kind of get messy, and
Of
he would
course.
get scratched all over his body.
Yes.
That happens in game if you take enough damage.
Oh, really? I know that when you get the armor and he puts that on, that was kind of cool,
Yeah.
and that chips away when you take damage.
Yes.
He actually gets like properly disheveled and stuff if you're low on health.
He does. If your health gets low enough, his gi gets torn to shreds,
Oh,
and you
that's
can see
kinda
his
cool.
big pecs and six pack and wide shoulders. And his hair gets disheveled because he's actually got very long hair. It's just always tied
Yes,
up.
I've seen the pictures. Yeah. I've seen the first pictures.
And
of
he's
Jack.
all scratched up. That's what that's what Samurai Jack character model looks like in game when your health is actually low during gameplay.
Isn't that just kind of crazy that I always picture in my side and there's just like Susan or Phil who has to do the Jack model and he's just there just being really focused and doing it really great whilst everybody else is putting polygons and blocks and stuff like, I'm done.
Yes,
How's Phil
just
doing?
someone-
And he's just like, oh yeah, strands and need to get the little blood and pecs. I love the idea someone
kids
just
are
went
gonna
hard.
go wild for this Samurai
Yeah,
Jack
exactly. It sounds like someone was genuinely a Samurai Jack fan and they needed this aspect in this game.
model.
That is actually very cool. I didn't know that because I never got down to that much life because it wasn't that hard. Okay, anything else visually? Audio?
No, we can go
audio.
on to audio.
Mr. Audio Man, what did you think of the audio?
Usually I've got something good to say about the music.
You
for
do.
these
You
video
try
games.
to find... You're the kind of nice guy when it comes to audio.
And for the show Samurai Jack, the music is great.
Yeah,
They take traditional instruments from Japan, the pan flute,
Nice, yeah.
the other traditional instruments.
Yeah,
from
the
Japan.
ones we all know and can hear and say, "Ooh, Japan." They're in,
that
they
one.
use those. Yeah, like the bonk
Yeah.
of the water feature things. Yeah, but I got you. Yeah,
And they
And in this
also
game-
in the show
yeah. Go on.
mix those with futuristic synthesizers and hard
Makes
laser
sense.
beats, and it goes
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Because that's what the show is. A fish out of water of ancient feudal Japan
That's right.
in super sci-fi.
yeah. That's like a dystopian Arku
Exactly.
filled sci-fi place. Yeah, no, it is.
That
it very
is not what they did with this game.
true. I was going to say, did you find a lot of that in this game, Nick? Was this everywhere in
I
every
found
environment?
none of it. The music feels incredibly generic. It lacks
Yeah, it does.
It lacks the atmosphere that the show's known for.
It's like-
There's nothing.
Do you think back in the day they did have stock music for like jungle, Aztec area?
What do you mean for
you know-
for these games?
Yeah, did you?
Oh yeah.
Do you
Oh,
think
that's
there
what
was
this
a
feels like. This
stock
feels like
library?
stock music.
Yeah, it does. I just wonder, was it like, oh, I just put that one there, or is someone in a music studio going, ooh, Aztec, and then just like lay down 3 notes and then a bit of like this, and then they're done.
Yes.
Yes, done.
This is
Like,
Aztec. Done. Paycheck, please.
Yeah, I kind of don't like that narrative that somebody just like, yep, next jungle. Okay, where's the monkey sound effect?
Okay.
yes,
Okay. Next
yes.
one. Volcano. Ooh.
Yeah, right? I'm hoping these are just plain stock, and they are, like you said. There's
It definitely sounds like stock.
I couldn't tell you a song. I played the game for a good few hours. I couldn't, not one identifiable piece of music or something like that
Yeah.
where I was like, oh, this is nice. But on the other side, what did you think of the audio? The voice acting, sorry. The voice
So
acting.
the voice acting is nice, right? Especially because they got Phil LaMarr.
Right. And the other ones?
Yeah.
It was the full voice cast.
That is great. That is I'm not gonna pretend like that isn't very cool because
Yeah,
it is.
But again, we're trying to find cool in something that doesn't have much of it.
I am trying to
right?
find cool, but
Yeah.
I do think that's cool. Getting the original voice cast. What other games would you have loved for them to get the original voice cast? For me, it would have been Peppa Pig.
Wow, that was a pull. Like, whoa, you can't just start that. Are you telling me the Peppa Pig game does not have the original voice cast of Peppa
That's
Pig?
right. I'm so glad you brought this.
Heard it here first, people. How come this is not on the news
Because
and
of
Twitter?
one voice, one sultry voice that everyone knows, and that's Daddy Pig's voice.
Is that the only one that's not correct in the game?
It definitely sounds like it, and I don't even know why, because Daddy Pig has done voices for video games.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Recently, even, I think.
So I love the idea that that's your trigger point. That's what you compare things to. The shocking downfall of games is when it's the Peppa Pig moment where you were like, what's going on?
Cast Daddy Pig.
Yeah, right.
Not my Daddy Pig.
I was somewhat shocked. Again, I've not watched the series, so I didn't know the voice actor, so I did look at. And like you said, Jack was played by Phil LaMarr, which I found out was also Hermes in Futurama, which you must have watched Futurama.
Yes, that's Hermes?
Yeah, I did. I literally
Wait a minute, is Hermes
double-checked.
the Rastafarian fellow?
Yes.
Ah.
Because I had the same thought of you did just now, because I was like, what, that's the Rastafarian guy from Futurama? And I had to check who Hermes was to confirm that, because I was thinking...
So this Phil LaMarr guy, he plays a Japanese man
Yep.
and a Rastafarian Jamaican.
That's range there. That's what that is. That's
Whoa!
range.
Incredible.
And Aku is actually done by I think he's a Japanese guy. I think Asian guy. So I might be. He's a voice actor named Mako I think it's Mako, right?
Mako.
And
Mako?
he's actually
what? Like the Mass Effect car.
Yes, potentially. I actually don't know. I should have probably looked into that. I
Okay.
think, but do you know he's also a much beloved voice actor in another TV series, which we've actually already mentioned right now.
One Piece.
Or just a one.
Powerpuff Girls.
No, nice. You're using that brain. The other one.
The other one?
We mentioned it.
Of course. Samurai Jack.
Yeah, that was my big pull. Can you believe that the guy from Samurai Jack voiced Aku and did it in this game?
What cartoon?
Have you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender? I can't remember if you've fully watched.
Course.
Have you watched? He's Uncle Iroh.
Whoa.
Good old Uncle Iroh, right? Like everyone's favorite uncle, like in the virtual space, right?
Wow, he's Aku?
Yeah, it's the same voice actor.
No way.
And I think sadly, I'm not sure if I don't think he's alive anymore. I think sadly he passed away. But it's such a great legacy to be like Aku, the main bad guy in Samurai Jack, and then Iroh, the coolest uncle in Nickelodeon.
Oh, hell yeah.
Lifespan. And then the Scotsman. The good old Scotsman doing all the weird cliches. I can't do it. I tried to be
super
as good
stereotypes.
as you wee Jesse.
Laddie.
Yeah. Which is funny. It is funny.
How about
it's
getting on my lap and some haggis?
Yeah, and who did that voice?
Accent.
Yeah, we should not do. You're better than me, but we should not do impressions. I think we can take that off our CV.
We shouldn't. I'm very sorry for any Scotsman.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know who did the voice of the Scotsman?
Scott.
Nice man.
Thank you.
A Scotsman. Yes, you got
Scotsman.
it. How did you do that? You're so good at this. It's a gentleman called John DiMaggio, which is kind of a famous name. And we've had him before in another game, but I can't remember what it was. But I also know he's very famous for two other characters he does the voice of. One also in Futurama.
Who?
Bender.
Bender,
the Scotsman, is John DiMaggio. He does Bender. And I only found this out the other day because I've never actually watched Adventure Time, or whatever it's called, right? That really popular cartoon.
Yes, Adventure Time.
He plays Jake. I didn't know that either.
Come on.
I know.
No. Are you telling me the voice actor for Bender is the same voice actor for Jake?
Exactly right. Exactly
and it's also the Scotsman.
Yes, which is, I don't think it's the biggest pull for his...
range.
That's cool, right?
That's range.
Because, again, we are trying to find the creme of the crop in the audio here. This is like the best thing about it, right?
I think the voice cast for the game, which is actually just the voice cast for the show,
yes, exactly,
is the best part of this game.
Yes, yeah, it fundamentally could be, which I think is a great. Anything else audio? Because that's a great segue to
sound
gameplay.
effects are repetitive but serviceable. No, I'm done.
Yeah, nice. That sounds like those end of year reports you do on like your colleagues in regards to Susan she did the job. Yeah, she turns up.
Timmy was great. Sucks at maths though.
Yeah, she needs to work on that harder. Okay, gameplay. What did you like about it?
Gameplay, I think, for most people is when they think about this game and it being part of their childhood, the gameplay is what they'll remember.
Yes, very true.
Feeling like Jack swinging around your katana and destroying robots that don't get destroyed. They just disappear from the screen.
Yeah. It's the badass fantasy, right? You've watched the show.
Exactly.
You want to be a badass samurai like Samurai Jack.
You watch the show and then you think, hell yeah, I want to be Jack.
Yes, exactly.
I want to be samuraiing all over the place.
The fundamental appeal of this game is that one reason, right? It's be the Samurai Jack. People bought that for that reason.
You're absolutely right. You're so right.
So you're going to tell me this succeeded in every way possible in that regard, right?
Dave?
Yeah?
No.
No way. What? A Samurai Jack game that no one's heard of didn't do great things for Samurai Jack?
That's right! It's incredible that this game no one's heard of is actually not a good game.
Isn't that just crazy, this episode? Again, I was playing this, we got a few more hours in, and I was like, God, I can't believe I told Nick that this wasn't too bad. I was like, I'm 3 hours in, and I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still doing tutorial stuff, like...
Yeah, it turns out, ladies and gents, it is that bad.
Okay, let me just try to twist. It does have swords. It does have bow and arrow. It has shuriken, which is so cool, right?
It has slow-mo.
Yeah, the slow-mo. The slow-mo gets you hyped for the first 3 or 4 times you do it, and you're like, yes.
It has combos.
It does.
You can kind of press a little button to load a combo, and then when you succeed in loading a combo, Jack executes this combo.
Right? It's kind of cool.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because let's see here, you press and hold R1.
Yeah.
And when you do this, Jack enters a combo stance. When you can then enter a combo, Jack won't fight or defend in this combo stance.
No, he doesn't. No,
so you are now risking Jack taking damage in front of an enemy.
Right.
But you're loading a potential death blow.
Oh yeah, you're loading something that's just going to look epic in the next 6 seconds that you actually pump it all in, right?
If you manage to get it right. So there's a little risk reward going on.
Yeah, that's right.
A tiny bit of risk reward in the gameplay, which I think is the only thing that this gameplay does that is more than good. It's really good.
Yeah.
The rest is fine.
I've written these little things down. I'm a sucker for deflecting lasers and projectiles back at people. But this game, it's not difficult. There's no timing aspect to it. It's just block and it will ricochet it back. Phantom Menace, like the old Phantom Menace game, used to do it really well. That's what I thought.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, weirdly.
How did Phantom Menace?
You had to time your block exactly right to send it back to them compared to deflecting it off. So the only way you could be badass is by performing something badass, like getting the timing right. This game does not have that. It's got mild platforming, which is
I wouldn't even call it mild. Jump over a pit.
Yeah,
nice
there wasn't even any complexity to it. You don't take much damage. Just did not, even in boss fights, they got melted really quickly, and I got virtually no damage whatsoever, especially you got the armor on. Yeah. You were just like, again, this is not really made for...
It would just take a hit off the armor, no matter how big the attack was.
Yeah, exactly. It had no weight to it in regards to the
if you
power.
Could get hit by a meteor, and it would just take a mark off the armor.
The boss fights are just incredible. Again, this game isn't made for, of course, someone of my caliber and elitist gaming stature. Like the great,
we are elitist, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we're some of the greatest gamers in the world right now. But it's just all these things slowly add up to you being bored. Like it just
Right.
It
At
just
the
adds
start, you
up
think,
to
"Oh, I can get used to this,"
yes,
and then
this,
exactly like you said, an hour in, things get stale.
yeah,
Quickly.
and you just run behind the bad guys with the red dot. You smack that.
Yeah.
Even when like the super ninja types come in, you can just breeze through them by throwing shurikens at them. they don't block them. Nothing.
No.
You just go done.
What peeves me the most is in the show, if Jack cuts down an enemy, he slices through them and they explode. There's a second of pure catharsis when Jack defeats whatever.
Yeah.
In the game, when their health reaches 0, they just disappear. They just get deleted off screen.
They do. It's
nothing. No satisfying feedback goes to the player that congratulations, you've just defeated this enemy.
Like an achievement aspect to any aspect of it.
Nothing.
It's a weird game. I don't. Again, I keep thinking, is this designed for people our age?
It's
no,
not.
and yes, because Samurai Jack was great. Everybody could watch
the show
that
was
game,
great. Yes,
right?
I just keep on thinking this was made for boys in 2004. Boys now have got Fortnite, Apex
yeah, it's crazy
Legends,
what they got now. They are very spoiled for choice by all accounts. There is one cool thing, and I don't know if you got to do this, but it was one cool thing that made me laugh. In this game, I think it's on the Aztec levels. Did you try to kill a chicken? I know. Take it in.
No.
Take it in. Did you try to just murder a chicken?
A chicken? No, I did not.
You didn't. I'll give them. This is kind of funny. If you try to kill a chicken, it expands in size by like 100%, becomes kind of like immortal, and will just kill you.
Whoa.
Yeah, so because you don't have to kill the chickens, I guess they see it as kind of like a brutal thing, don't go around killing the chickens. So if you try to kill one, it just gets massive and will kill you back. Just so to say, no, stop it. Stop hurting the chickens. You're here to stop and hurt.
Bad player.
Which was quite funny to find out when I just saw a chicken in front of me and I thought to myself,
do you know where
like
that
most
comes
gamers
from?
do. What?
That comes from, I think, The Legend of Zelda, which does the exact same thing. In most Zelda games, if you attack a chicken, or as their games call it, a cuckoo,
yeah,
they retaliate. They get all their chicken brethrens and fly and peck and attack you, and you can die from cuckoos.
Yeah, I think I've seen clips of that. Yeah, where the chickens just go full mental on your ass because you accidentally hit one of them.
What you're describing, this just sounds like the developers adding a little Zelda Easter egg.
Yes, agreed. It could be a little Zelda Easter egg. It made me smile. It was potentially the only part,
that's fun,
apart from the fourth wall breaking like little narrative about video games. It's probably the only other part that made me smile. Which again, it's credit where credit's due. That bit was kind of an impressive little tidbit to chuck in there. But apart from that, gameplay is just kind of boring. Like, geez.
It is. It's playable, but it's really exciting.
It is.
Really.
It is. Okay. Anything else gameplay you want to add?
No, let's go on to performance.
This is the strange one, because your performance, you gave it a really low score, fundamentally, right? And I didn't see any
I still
problems.
gave it above average.
Okay, you did. Sorry, I misread the aisles there. Because you gave it a 6. I give it an 8 because it kind of performed PlayStation 2 like.
Exactly.
Did something happen to you, or was it just long and slow?
No, I just don't want to give this game high scores.
I knew you were going to say that. It's just that I didn't like this game, and this game shouldn't get like a C or a B, right?
No, it shouldn't. This game should feel my wrath.
Yes.
This game had stable frame rate for most of the game. It had some collision issues. I spoke earlier about trying to get the camera against a wall and walk towards the wall so I could see Jack's face.
Yes.
The camera glitched behind the wall sometimes.
Yeah, it's a classic thing, yeah. Especially in the old PlayStation 2 area. And again, like you said, the quick jobs in regards to just making an area or something like that. Yeah, I can see that.
There was one point, there's one bug where, I think it was in the Aztec level or the island level at the start, where I got a key, and I opened a door, and I had this cutscene, and the door would open. The cutscene would end, and all of a sudden I had a loading screen. And
Yes, that's
after
right,
after the loading screen, I respawned at the previous checkpoint, and I thought, what?
Yeah, that's not supposed to happen.
Why am I at the checkpoint? Did I die from watching the door opening cutscene? And it seems I did.
What? The craziest crap happens to you when playing these games. I'm like, yeah, why? Why would
That makes no sense.
I'm trying to think what happens in that cutscene, and it's
no
not
idea.
much.
Maybe the cutscene doesn't pause the game, and I got slashed off screen.
Yeah, it could be like there was just a little robot or something
Yeah.
just slowly going. Pew,
I
pew,
don't
pew,
know.
pew. Granted,
But I
in a
could just
game
walk
that you're
back
being
to the
bought-
door, which was open, and move to the next area. But there was a weird bug.
I do like the idea in a game that's slowly boring you, something happens where it takes you back a few more areas, and you're like, oh.
Ooh, the game's doing this on purpose now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, now it's just plain being mean. Okay, so what do you think value for money wise then?
I don't think there's much value here. I mean, if you like Samurai Jack and you want to feel a bit like Samurai Jack, and it's 2004 and you're 9, sure.
Yeah, and this game's only 4 hours long, I might add.
Jeez, that's short.
Yeah. I tried to think, when I was playing these games, I was thinking, PlayStation 2 games, were they only 4 hours long? I can't remember anymore. But God of War wasn't. God of War was quite a long game. I know these are the Paragon ones.
was.
They're the only ones I really remember because they're always on everyone's top 10
Right,
list or something.
but I mean,
something
if you take the play time with the God of War games,
Yeah.
and the Final Fantasy games,
Oh.
and Ratchet and Clank,
Yes, true. Ratchet and
Sly
Clank were fairly long.
Raccoon.
That's right. Jack and Dexter.
Jack and Daxter, those are cream of the crop.
Yeah. This isn't.
This isn't.
But there is a fun little tidbit for value for money that I found out though last night when I was doing some research. If you own this game, like have an original PlayStation 2 copy of this game, complete in box, which means the box, the manual, and the disc, it's worth like $40 to $50, and like
Whoa.
$100 if it's sealed.
Why?
I guess again, a lot of collectors and stuff, they love the idea of like low print games and having minty copies of them, and they fundamentally, because they're in low print, get exponentially more expensive. And Samurai Jack, again, like you said, was kind of a popular cartoon, so low print and popular cartoon equals big bucks in the physical market. So yeah, it's an expensive game to kind of own, which is probably the only plus in the value for money kind of aspect. If you did buy it years and years ago, and
the
kept
physical version of this game.
Yeah, it kind of gives you more back just keeping it in your loft or in a box than the game itself gave you in playing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you're a collector and you've got that, or you want some extra money, and you got this sitting in your garage or in your attic or something like that, by all means, like I dust it off or whack it on eBay because it's an expensive game. But no, it's not worth.
And playing the disc on your real PlayStation 2 is the only way of playing this. Wink, wink.
Yes, luckily we both owned it. We both have a PlayStation
absolutely.
2. Yeah, luckily we actually own pretty much every PlayStation 2 game.
Correct.
Ever.
Yes, and there's no need to go on with that fact.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm sure, as everybody's wondering, that the score for this game must be amazing, right? This, with all the glazing we've been
this
giving
is Samurai
it, with
Jack.
all the,
How could it not be?
Exactly. What did we score this game?
This is the pivotal cartoon that turned some boys into men.
Amen. Exactly right.
Our scores for Samurai Jack: The Shadow of Aku had a wonderful, peaceful life in the middle of, ironically, feudal Japan.
Yeah, that's true.
Until one day it got attacked by a big old shadow with fire eyebrows that's calling itself a 3-letter name, and plunged all of our scores into the future, of which only one made it. And that one is the letter grade rating of not F, which I don't understand. It's D.
I would actually like. I can't remember what score gets an F. Again, I was too nice. I think Nick, in his old age and being tired, he's turning into a big meanie. I think that's the way. But yeah, this game.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna dispute that.
No. Again, now just finishing it, and after this whole discussion, I'm just looking at that D, thinking it shouldn't be a D either.
Nope.
Because D is still kind of a game you should give a try, right? It's kind of like a game you should pick up and see if you like it. And that just seems like bad advice with this one.
Yes.
It just doesn't seem like that fits well.
This should be an F.
Right, like no one's seeing this, but maybe that number's not an 8. Performance that changed. No, it's still a D. What the hell do I have to do? I was too nice.
Are you changing your scores?
I would never do that. I'm full of integrity.
Dave, ladies and gents, Dave's definitely not changing his
never
scores.
Do. Oh,
on
I
the
just
fly.
made it. I'm not. What the hell do I need to do to get this down?
There we did. I did it. You did it. We all did it. There we go. Ladies and gents, the score it's magically turned into an F, which is much deserved. Let's grade rating. Samurai Jack: The Shadow of the Coup is an F.
Well, it is.
F. What's this for? Do not play this game.
But one thing from listening to this podcast, I think it's fairly apparent. Go watch the TV series. Go watch Samurai Jack on Adult Swim. I'm going to sound like an old person now. Is Cartoon Network still going? Is that still a thing?
Cartoon Network's still going, but it's not doing reruns of old shows. Every like half a decade or so, there's an entirely new roster of shows.
And none of them have like flashbacks to like Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, all the old like Cow and Chicken.
I don't think so. We're still on Peppa Pig and Bluey Train. We haven't gone over to Cartoon Network just yet. I'm sure
fair
we
enough.
will.
Fair enough. Your kids, yeah, that's true. Your kids are out too.
But no, are you kidding me? Cartoon Network airing something like Samurai Jack? Never.
Yeah, that's sad. That hurts my soul. That does. Because Cartoon Network was the place to watch cartoons back in my day. Yeah. It was everyone was watching. But yeah, an F. Yeah, deserved.
Absolutely deserved.
This is not one that's easily recommended. Watch the TV show though; it's great. And
easily
it's got a great
recommended.
final
No,
season.
I'll unrecommend. I'll disrecommend. I'll im-recommend. Please do not play Samurai Jack: The Shadow of Aku. Stay away. Stay far, far away. Unless you own a copy, then get rich.
Yes, get rich. But again, it falls to that same thing. Just game tie-ins to TV programs fundamentally don't work. Other way around, yeah, but it's just a bad game. That's about it.
Yep. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Critical Arcade Podcast. Press subscribe and like and share. And we don't need to waffle on. Just do it. If you see a bell, try that. Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, do it like anywhere. Go to church, see a bell, just try ringing that, see what happens. I'm sure
just do it. That'll help the podcast.
Yes, just do all the things, to press all the buttons,
and subscribe to us on YouTube. Besides a bell in a church, Dave, where can we follow you?
Well, whilst playing this game, I fundamentally actually started befriending Aku because this game took so long, he was bored, I was bored, so we started talking. And he actually showed me how to knock people into the future. It was fairly simple, it just involves like a rope and a bit of gum.
You just shove them.
You just shove them really hard with your mystical god powers. And fortunately, I have those. So I will knock you straight forwards into the future where, I don't know, let's say Skibbity Toilet has taken over the world. But I doubt you have super Samurai Jack reflexes, skills, and shuriken throwing. So you will be stuck there trying to save the world with your ability to maybe name the Pokemon in 151, right? It's not going to work.
And you will just be 6-7'd over by all the kids.
That's right. So, if that's what you want, by all accounts, if you want a quick trip to the future of Skibbity Toilet nightmares, then by all means follow me and I will do that for you.
Definitely not what I want. Rather, Dave, how about you tell us what have we got lined up for next week?
Which is kind of strange because next week is kind of like we were talking about, is kind of a game first that then had movies but is actually better as a game again, I would say. This is I forget which one in the whole like chronological order of the Tomb Raider games, but we're going to get hands on Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness, which I have no idea where that fits in. I'm going to say
either.
number
it's
4.
Not 1, it's not 2.
No,
it's
yeah, that's all I know too. I can see the cover. It's her looking sexy in like a black background and purple like wavy lines.
Oh, and it's
fire
just her
around.
face, right?
Yes, I know the cover.
Yes.
So yeah, look forward to it. Not played it myself. Doesn't sound like you played it, so it's always good to go back and play a game that should be good. I think maybe. Come on, Tomb Raider. You used to be good, right?
It's got a reputation.
It has,
so
right?
It must be.
It's still kind of going. So yeah, I guess tune in to see if it is or not. By all accounts.
Tune in next week to hear our thoughts on Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness. We'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.